Hello, everybody, and a huge welcome to Get in the Picture. I am so excited this day. I've been planning this day for a couple of months, and I'm so excited that it's finally here. Friday, the 19th of August has been etched in my brain for the last couple of months. So I say a huge welcome to you, and thank you so much for all the love, the support, the sharing, and getting involved. And if you haven't already got involved, I will talk to you in a minute about how you can get involved. So I am Sharon Hubbard, the Style Coach, and I am going to share with you my 5 top tips to get in the picture. So getting the picture is obviously physically getting the picture, but it's also kind of a metaphor for getting into the picture of your life, because a lot of my clients are hiding and holding themselves back and not getting into the picture physically, and as I say, not getting into the picture as in not being part of the story, not hiding and holding themselves back in their life. So I'm just going to share my screen with you now. Just give me a moment. And hopefully that will just take a few minutes, and hopefully that is sharing with you now and you can see it. So get in the picture, you are enough. And that basically is a very simple message. No waiting to get into the picture until you lose weight, until you feel like it, until you straighten your teeth, until you get into the picture now. It's not that, you can't improve yourself. Like, I'm always working on improving myself, with personal development, but it's just about not stopping yourself now getting into the picture until kind of delaying your happiness and deferring your opportunities and memories. So a little bit about me. As I said, I'm Sharon Hubbard, the Style Coach. I am a international certified style coach with over 10 years experience in personal styling. And in more recent years, I have amalgamated personal development. So it's where personal style meets personal development. I've got my life coaching qualifications, and also NLP and QGT. And QGT is quantum thinking transformations. And I suppose that's the really powerful element of my business, is that I am unique. I am the only qualified personal stylist in the world, and that is amalgamating these two. So it is really powerful and profound, and getting my clients the most amazing results and transformations, and that's what it's all about. So a little bit about my background. If you haven't been following me, I'm not sure about my story. I weighed my self-worth on the scales for over 30 years. And kind of feeling I didn't deserve success, or didn't deserve X, Y, and Z until I fitted into X, Y, and Z. So I had this limiting belief, and it was holding me back greatly in my life. If this resonates with you, you will totally understand. It was holding me back in my business, stepping out, just like even in work when I was employed in the financial services industry, it held me back because I wouldn't put myself forward for things. I didn't want to be seen, and I didn't want to be visible. And even getting into photographs, because of the topic that we're in, I was always one to hide the back of photographs, always the one to take photographs. When the camera came out, I'd be like, oh, don't get me, and I would be the photograph taker. And these are all, as I say, with all these kind of stories and limitations in our lives, they're fine until they're not. They're fine until you kind of had enough of them, and they are holding you back. So it's, what are they stopping you from? And obviously, hiding and holding myself back, and not feeling that I deserved success, because I never had a weight goal. I had to weigh this, but it was always, I needed to weigh less. Whatever it was always less than where I was at. So it wasn't, I need to be 9.5 stone or whatever. I never had a number on it, but it was always this feeling of not enoughness as I was. And I'm sure you can relate to that as well, because it is, with women I speak with, my clients, it is an epidemic. And it's my mission in life to free women from that, inside and out. So as I say, it was holding me back because obviously I couldn't go on and do a live on, visible in my own business because I'm a personal brand. So I am my business, and I couldn't, and people pleasing was also another one of my one of my little beliefs, and kind of tied up in a little bow, just as if feeling not enough wasn't enough. The feeling of, it was, to add that on top of it as well, people pleasing. So I would kind of go, I can't put that up, or what do people think, or, we live in a local community here, or what do the neighbours think, or what do my parents think, or what do, family think, or whatever it was. And I certainly wasn't pushing up anything, but it was just all, and it was all my feelings. Nobody else was thinking anything. And that's the thing about beliefs, is you believe them with certainty, but they, a lot of the time when we drill down, are not even true, but it's just you believe them with certainty. So again, it's holding you back from doing something. So going back to your photographs, I remember vividly one of our family holidays. I was in my early 20s. I'm the eldest of 3 girls, and I remember we went an amazing holiday. It was kind of our last family holiday before, people went traveling and got married and all the rest of it. And we went to San Francisco, and we were in Yosemite Park, and there was a bear, a cutout bear, a wooden bear, I remember it. And we were someone was taking a family photograph, and I dashed to hide behind the bear in the family photograph. I know it sounds ridiculous now, but that's just where I was at. I was, so what are your rules? Is it you jump to stand at the back? Is it that you wear black because you look slimmer? Is, you have your hand on your hip, there's a fashion stylist who I won't name. It's not anything bad, but just I'm not throwing shade on her. But she has, ear over shoulder, shoulder over hip, and it's all about, the angle and the moving, and to get the most beautiful kind of spelt silhouette as possible. Do you have a good size that you want to take your photograph on? Shoulders back. Suck it in, for God's sake. So, we all have rules, and, what is it? I'd love to know what your rules are, and what is it that's holding you back from getting in the picture. And today we're just going to really, and again, it's not about not ever getting a good photograph, but not all of them have to be perfect. Imperfect, you are perfectly imperfect, and your photographs can be perfectly imperfect as well. So 5 steps to get in the picture, 5 tips. When people say, oh, Sharon, it's okay for you, you're confident. Confidence actually is a muscle. I don't believe you're born with it. I believe when you take action, you become more confident. And taking imperfect action is one of my biggest things, because as a reformed perfectionist, and that really, I have learned that perfectionism, what I thought was amazing. I remember reading in an interview back when I was 20, going, they were asking me what my, what was one quality, I can't remember the word one quality now, what was one quality that, wasn't one of my best qualities. And I said, I'm a perfectionist. It was kind of the answer to the question at the time. And I thought being a perfectionist was amazing. But actually, when I set up my own business, I realized being a perfectionist is actually a form of procrastination and hiding and holding myself back. So, so it is when you take imperfect action. And even doing this campaign, obviously I've done work over the years, and I've done lots of work on, and it always starts with the inside. Always starts with the inside. And when you get rid of what's going on up here, and what you're saying to yourself, the negative talk, the negative and limiting beliefs, that's when, when you put the clothes on, that's when, it's like polishing a diamond. But until that's done, it's like putting plaster on a broken leg. And that's my experience of dealing with women, as in the styling element first, and then progressing on. And when the inside and the outside are aligned, that's when it's pure magnetic, and you radiate. So as I say, I've done a lot of work. It doesn't mean that I don't have moments of, oh my God almighty, you know, look at a picture that I don't kind of go, oh, eek. But you know, I don't stop myself getting into pictures now. I don't hold myself back from doing lives. I mean, my business wouldn't be a business if I, you know, was holding myself back, or if I was not jumping on live. And I don't always come on, you know, perfectly coiffed and groomed and all the rest of it. That is totally fine too. It's just me. And you know, it resonates with some people, and some people want their fashion stylists to be all glittery and shiny, and that's fine as well. So, you know, this photograph and this photograph campaign that I, you know, had for my website and for this campaign, it was, as I say, I wouldn't have been able to do it a couple of years ago, because it was really real, and there was no hiding behind lashes and extensions and tan or grooming, or there was no editing of the photographs. Some of the amazing Anna Barnica did the photographs, and they are stunning. And there was, I think, maybe a bit of editing for lighting and that kind of thing, but my absolutely, it was not under any circumstances to be edited. And that was scary, because I didn't know that it was the front of the WOW section of the it's Women on Wednesday, and I had a fair idea that, you know, if we get a sizable you know, representation inside. So these photographs I knew were going, you know, they weren't little photographs that no one was going to see. Let's put it that way. So, you know, here I was, you know, 2 stone heavier, no tan, no lashes, no, and also what I wore, I could, you know, it wasn't, you know, it's very easy. I always say it's very easy to go to a wedding dressed up and, you know, when you're done up. But for this, I wanted the t-shirt, and round necks don't suit my body shape as well as V-necks. V-necks are better on larger busted women. And again, I always had choose, not lose, but again, it was something that I was confident, it wouldn't be something that I would have picked to if I was made this campaign. But when your why is more important than, you know, you looking flattering, or you looking you know, svelte, then that was my reason why. Because the reason why was the message, you are enough, and that t-shirt represented that. So, you know, even in life, even getting into the picture, you know, your why, is it memories? Is it capturing a moment? Is it stepping up in your life in general and not hiding? And what's, you know, what's your why? So when your why is big enough, you will do anything. So, and you know what, when I look at these pictures, it was just so liberating. It was so liberating. There was no tan, there was no, you know, there really wasn't. It was done on Sunday afternoon, and I had been out on Saturday night. It was, yeah, there was very little prep given to, and it was just liberating, I would be very honest with you. Not having to worry so much about how I looked and the angles and whatever. As I say, my why was big enough. So mere exposure. What is mere exposure? So mere exposure is the more we see of something, the more familiar it becomes, and the more, you know, the kind of you know, we're familiar with it then, and it's not as alien an idea to us. And that's, I suppose, the irony of not taking photographs, is that they are so unfamiliar when you see them, then, that you kind of go, oh my God, wow, ooh, jeepers, is that what I look like? So they're so unfamiliar. Whereas when you're hiding and holding yourself back from getting into the picture, it's actually creating, you know, that, so the more pictures you get into, the better. And I know it's kind of, you know, kind of probably counterintuitive if you are kind of nervous or holding yourself back from getting into the picture. So that is why today, the 19th of August, you can remedy that. You can get in the picture. Post a picture on Instagram, hashtag get in the picture, and tag Sharon Huggard, the style coach. And there's loads of prizes and all the rest of it to be won. But even if you never won a prize, it's just you are claiming stop erasing your history, and it's now time to start making memories and taking opportunities. Comparison is another thing that stops people from taking pictures, because you're comparing your real life with, as in REAL life, with somebody else's highlight reel, REEL. And we all know that we put up probably the kind of good things on social media, and it is our highlight reel. So the more, and you can't compare your holiday snaps with the holiday snaps of an influencer on holidays that's putting up her best photographs on a magazine. So don't compare your reel with somebody else's highlight reel. And just and if you do that, you're stopping it. And that's not the essence, and that's not what photographs are for. They're about capturing a moment. When a moment is gone, it's a memory. And if you don't have a photograph, there's so many things my dad would always say to me. Those holidays we had were wasted because you don't remember things when you're younger. But it's when somebody pulls out a picture and something comes back to you, or even if it doesn't come back to you, you still have the photograph as a memory. And I think we all know as well that when a loved one passes, you're not kind of going, oh, they don't look like, or they a few pounds on them, or their eyes are closed, or they're double chinned, or it's the wrong side. You're so grateful to have that precious memory of them. So don't compare yourself. You have, and I always say this to my clients, you have a choice. You get to decide. And that is one thing that I've done in the last couple of years, is I've decided to like every picture of me. Now, I'm not delusional. I do know some of them are not flattering, but I've decided that every photograph, I don't kind of zoom in and say, oh God, that's a very, very bad one, or that's awful, or just you make the decision. Now, some, if you take 100 of them, some of them are going to be deleted and some of them are better than others, but you can make the decision that you are going to like. It is work. It is definitely something that it has taken me a couple of years to do, to be honest. It's not something that'll happen instantly, but I've decided every picture I am going to love. So, the work that I do with clients is, your thoughts create your emotions, and your emotions create your actions. So if you've thought that I hate every picture, I can't stand getting into photographs, if that's your thought, your emotions would be, fear, overwhelm, and, probably disgusted when you see a photograph, and disappointed, whatever these things are. And what actions then is you won't get into photographs again. You'd hide and hold yourself back. Whereas if you have the thought, I'm going to love every photograph of myself, then the emotion is, it could even be neutral. It could be just, that's just my thought. I've decided, I've made that decision. Or it could be, I'm just a person and not zooming into the different parts. You can be you can work on neutral thoughts as well, because it's very hard to go from I hate photographs of myself to, oh my God, look how amazing I am. So you can actually have a kind of a thought ladder process with my clients, and we move up the steps. It's kind of like steps of a ladder or steps of the stairs. We move up. It's very hard to go from I hate myself, I hate every picture, look at my eyes, look at this and look at that, to go, I love myself and I love my picture. So, it can be just a small little, but it is possible. And the work that I do with clients is where we go much deeper in the QTT, and we can just effortlessly blitz those beliefs, and it's just super powerful. So people would say to me, or even I kind of noticed it myself, as God, I look different in the mirror than I do in pictures. So we're used to seeing ourselves in the mirror, and even though that some of my clients don't actually even look at themselves in the mirror, but that's another for another day's work. It is, you were so used to seeing ourselves in the mirror, but when we see ourselves, we're actually flipped in the mirror. So, when you write something in a mirror, it comes backwards. So we are actually looking at ourselves flipped. Whereas when we look at a picture, we're actually looking at ourselves the way we really do look. So we prefer ourselves in the mirror, and we prefer other people in pictures because other people, that's the way that they present when they walk up to us, is that's what they look like in their pictures, whereas we're so used to seeing ourselves in the mirror. So that's just a little fun fact and something maybe that you hadn't considered, and you might go, oh, no, that's actually, so in the mirror we're flipped and it's not what we look like in real life, whereas a picture is what we look like in real life, but we're so it's so unfamiliar to us, whereas the mirror is much more familiar. And I mean this in the nicest possible way. Do not take offense. Get over yourself and get in the picture. So how I do this is, if I'm going to an event or if I'm going to something and I'm kind of going, God, I really don't. There was a networking event recently, and I was, and I say I still have these thoughts, but they're so fleeting and I can get myself out of them. Whereas before I would have stopped myself from going, or if I went, I would have been all, so self-conscious that I didn't want to be there. And obviously that is not the, and then if there was a photographer there, I mean, that would have been the end of it altogether. So it's to get over yourself, and I mean, to take the focus off yourself. So if you take the focus off yourself, even the other day, my son had his grads, and I stood in for the picture. And again, it wasn't the most flattering picture, but I didn't delete it because it was first of all, it was his day and it was all about him. And I was then grateful that I was there for this moment and captured this moment. So, then I turned it into gratitude. And you get to decide, that's, as I said, that's the work I do a lot with people is, it's what goes on in here. If you can master that, you can master anything. And when you are, if you're a group of friends and somebody takes a photograph and everybody, everybody zooms into themselves. So nobody's looking at you. And then you'd say to somebody, oh my God, that's a shocking photograph of me. Oh, and they'd say, you look lovely. And then they're thinking that they look awful. So, I'd say it's just to get over yourself and to not be so critical. And again, as I said, that's in my program, the Body Confidence Solution. That's what we do not work about that. And nipping that little voice inside here, because when you master that, everything changes. There is freedom beyond that, and it's so liberating. As I was explaining to my son one day when he was younger, in your head, you're the big matchstick person, and everybody else is a small matchstick person. But in their head, they're the big matchstick person, and you're the small matchstick person. So people aren't thinking about us half as much or at all. So just, I say, get over yourself and get in the picture. These are a selection of the photographs, the real photographs that were taken on the day. And a huge thank you again to the amazing Anna Veronica for seeing my vision. I wanted it to be about, you are enough, and not about me. But obviously, there had to be some way to capture the photograph. So, and that actually camera is her dad's camera, old camera. So that was really, really special as well. And I did a post yesterday on this book here, 54321, by Mel Robbins. I highly, highly recommend it if you're not familiar with it. She, there's an awful lot more to it, but to simplify it, it is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move, do it, get in the picture, take some action, do it, do it, do it. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get in the picture today. So just going to go back here actually. So to join the movement, if you go in, I'm not sure if you can see that now with me sharing the screen, it's www.get.getinthepicture.ie. And there's a link to my Instagram page. And what you do then is you post a picture of yourself just as you are, just as you are. If you're at a wedding and you're dressed up, great. If you're not, if you're at the beach doing, having a picnic out in the back garden, whatever you're doing on the day, going for coffee and your hair is tied up in a messy bun, you've no makeup on, post the picture as you are, because you are enough, and tag me, Sharon Huggard, the style coach, and hashtag get in the picture. And I said there is amazing, amazing prizes. I've got super partners on board that I'm really grateful for, Durable.ie. and she's given a year's membership for Derval.ie and a cookbook and a journal as well. And then we have Love Cherish boutique, which have given €100 voucher for Love Cherish. I would love that myself. And then we also have Human and Kind, who have given a beautiful it's the moisturizing hero kit, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love Human and Kind, and I use their products myself. So, you know, you're in with Chance Room, but it's also taking action. Remember, I spoke about that, and taking imperfect action. And when you take, that's where the confidence comes from. When you take action, and it's to be a part of this movement and to be part of, and as I say, the more pictures we see of real, you know, not filtered images, the more they'll become familiar, and the more acceptable it will be for us then to be real and to put up our photographs. So I really, really, really urge you to be part of it and to share. If you have any friends, colleagues, family that will get on board as well, I really would love you to share it. And I know it's gone national, and it's actually even gone international. So I'm really looking forward to seeing all the photographs that are coming in today. And as a very special offer for this movement, there's only 10 of them, so fastest fingers on the buzzers. I'm giving a 30-minute complimentary call to help you get in the picture. As I say, you know, help you step into the picture. What's holding you back? What's stopping you from showing up? And what's stopping you, you know, why are you hiding and holding yourself back? And you know, give you some advice and see how I can help you. So really, there's 10 of those. So just either DM me if you're watching this on social media, or email me, and I will put up the next slide, will have all my details. So either email me or DM me, and I will send you a link to my calendar, and you can book your 30-minute call, but there is only 10 of them. So just make sure if you ever wanted to work with me or see what it would be like to work with me, then this is your opportunity. And as I say, the whole premise of this is to make memories and to take opportunities and to stop holding yourself back and get into the picture physically and get into the picture in your life. So style@SharonHuggard is my email address, and social media, the best place to kind of check me out is Sharon Huggard, the style coach, on Instagram. And that's where this whole campaign is being housed, and Instagram lends itself to the tagging and all the rest of it. And then also I have a free Facebook group with over 1,600 women and hundreds of free resources to get you, you know, I'd say personal style and personal development for your mind, body and soul. And that is, if you go to Facebook and look for Shine with Style. And I'm just going to stop my sharing now. So I hope you got some useful tips there as to maybe why you don't like photographs or what is holding you back, and tips as to how to get into the picture and how to get into you know, the picture, as I say, today, but not only today. And I know that people have messaged me over the last couple of weeks, and especially, you know, since it kind of ramped up the posting and the awareness of the campaign, and people were saying, you know, Sharon, you were ringing in my head. I wasn't going to get into the picture, I was going to take it, and I thought of you. They've been women, the stories have been quite remarkable. They've been, you know, women with cancer, and saying that it's vital to capture moments, and life is precious, and don't we know it? But sometimes we forget. And they've been, you know, bloggers saying to me that, you know, they're out there on the front line, but also they feel nervous about it too, and they weren't going to post a certain picture, and they heard me ringing in their ears. So there is just so many women that it's touching and it is impacting. And that is, my call is to kind of, you know, shout enough is enough, and it is now time to get into the picture.